Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triviamatic Happy Hour. I'm your host, Richard Sue, coming to you from my man cave slightly outside the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Although I have to admit, not a cave. It's on the second floor. I prefer light, airy spaces and understated functionality. So in other words, when IKEA gets around to making a man cave, I'm there with all my little tiny wrenches. So anyway, welcome to Triviamatic Happy Hour. I'll be here with you for about an hour, reading you trivia questions and having you play along on the Triviamatic app, available at the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, so make sure you have that downloaded. Go ahead and start your Triviamatic app, and if you have a button that says Happy Hour, press it. And if you need a game code to play, tonight's game code is 812232. Once again, that game code 812232. Anyway, lovely Sunday. Welcome to you all to Triviamatic Happy Hour. Let's wait a minute for people to get through. We have a little short of 285 subscribers to the Triviamatic YouTube channel. Hope to get to 300 by the end of the week. Remember, you can play Triviamatic any night of the week with any one of our lovely hosts, Ethan Berlin, Kim Roth, John Chinesky, Craig Reed, Tommy Dickey, or myself. So, all right, so go ahead and launch your Triviamatic app. Yes, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And shout out to John Chinesky, knower of all things and keeper of the Triviamatic chat, where, of course, you are welcome to drag the host in any manner of your choosing. That is a public service that I provide for you. All right, here we go. We always start with History Mystery. And if you thought the world was crazy, wait till you see what kind of questions we come up with. So it's May 24th. Here are 10 questions about historical events that have occurred on May 24th of years gone by. Question 1, May 24th. Is Independence Day in what African nation which declared its independence from Ethiopia after a 1993 referendum? So, happy Independence Day to this African nation, which declared its independence on this day in 1993 from Ethiopia after a referendum. So if you are new to Triviamatic, it's going to be one of the 4 answers on your screen. Click one. If you can change your answer before the purple ticker expires, but I think it puts a penalty on you, like 5-10 points. I'm not quite sure. I'm also not sure if the penalty is simply the difference between when you click the first time and the second time. Anyway, we're going to get right to the answer. The answer for this one is Eritrea. Eritrea's independence made Ethiopia the largest landlocked nation in the world by population. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. And hey, look at this. We got 24 players on a Sunday night. That is great to see. Welcome one, welcome all. Once again, I'm Richard Sue, your host. Let's get on to the next question. Question 2. What famous structure designed by John Roebling officially opened for the first time on May 24th, 1883? Was one of these. Famous structure designed by John Roebling officially opened for the first time on May 24th, 1883. It is happy hour. I am choosing to self-hydrate in the privacy of the second floor man cave. Probably about the safest thing I could do for myself at this stage. All right, time is up on question 2. The answer we're looking for, the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge, designed by John Roebling. And the construction was overseen by Roebling's son Washington and Washington's wife, Emily, a quick look at the leaderboard, and Jennifer Michael in 96. Very, very fast. 2 questions, nearly at 100. Well done. Retail Railwell, 93. Sherbeliz, 92. Garrus Vicarian and Ruby, your top 5. Claire Bear, Sweet TC Species, Nearsighted Narwhal, I Am the Larks, Benedict Cumberbatch, your top 10. Who Dis Frogs, Crossword Ease, Don Pudakin, Did I Lose Yet? Tweedle Beetle Battle, Schwartz Be With Us Game Show, Craig A., one of our hosts, Craig Reed, and John Chinesky. Rounding out 19, Callie Olivia is number 20. Nicole Tho, Beffaroni and Cheese, Mr. Poopy Butthole. Seriously, come on. You're gonna give me a name to read. Make it hard. And Slippery Slope in 24th. All right, moving on to question 3. A quote, and you each gentle animal in confidence may bind, and make them answer to your call if you are always kind. So goes the Little Herd final verse of what song published on May 24th, 1830? Ah. Now we know the difference between bad lyrics and good lyrics. Huh. Reminds me of the scene in the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox, where one of the farmers grabs Petey's guitar and says, "No, you're just making things up. What a bad song, Petey." Smashes the guitar like John Belushi. All right, the Little Herd final verse of this song, published on May 24th, 1830. Yeah, it's little known because it wasn't very good, but it's the answer to Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary Had a Little Lamb. All right, a quick look at the leaderboard. Here we go. That's your leaders. Jennifer Michael Hecht, Retail Rail, Sherbeliz, Claire Bear, Sweet Tea Species, your top 5. All right, question 4. What inventor sent a message from the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. to his assistant in Baltimore on this day in 1844, the very first message ever sent by telegraph? What inventor sent a message from the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. to his assistant in Baltimore on this day in 1844, the very first message ever sent by telegraph? It sounded like this. True story. I went to music school to learn how to do that. All right, time has run out on this question. We are looking for, of course, Samuel Morse. Samuel Morse, who sent the message, "What hath God wrought?" He wrought this for the leaderboard. Jennifer Michael, 188 after 4 questions, knocking on 200. Well done. Let's move on to question 5. According to some sources, a May 24th, 1978 speech by management consultant Marilyn Loden was the first to use what phrase? According to some sources, a May 24th, 1978 speech by management consultant Marilyn Loden was the very first to use what phrase? We should have put as one of the answers mansplaining. I feel that would have been a good... That was probably May 24th, 2010. All right. We are, of course, talking about glass ceiling. Glass ceiling. The U.S. Department of Labor defines the glass ceiling as those artificial barriers based on attitudinal or organizational bias that prevent qualified individuals from advancing upward in their organization into management level positions, which is just another way of saying guys ruin everything. Except the leaderboard, because there we are, Jennifer Michael. In first place, I'm Lorax. Second place, Retail Railwell. Third, Sweet Tea Species, Crossword Ease. Rounding out your top 5. Question 6. On May 24th, 1956, in Lugano, Switzerland, 7 countries participated for the first time in what competition? May 24th, 1956, in Lugano, Switzerland, 7 countries participated for the very first time in what annual competition? I'll give you a not particularly surprising hint. This will be the first time in 65 years that the competition won't be held. Which is interesting. I would think this one could be virtualized, but I guess not. All right, time is up on this one. We are looking for the answer, the Eurovision Song Contest. That gave us ABBA and Celine Dion, so thanks for that. Leaderboard gives us Jennifer Michael Hecht at 284, Retail Railway in Hot Pursuit, Sweet Tea Species, I Am the Lorax, Crossword Ease. Your top 5, moving on to question 7. Happy birthday to Roger Deakins. Deakins, born on this day in 1949, is known as one of the most accomplished members of what film profession working today? I'm a little bit of a fan. I'm not a little bit. I'm a great big fan of Roger Deakins' work. So this one I would have gotten. But let's see. Let's see. Happy birthday to Roger Deakins, born this day in 1949. Known as one of the most accomplished members of what film profession working today? Things he's worked on include The Shawshank Redemption. He's well known for his work with the Coen brothers. And of course, that makes him the cinematographer. He is known for his cinematography. Also did A Beautiful Mind, Blade Runner 2049, Fargo, and 1917. Quick look at the leaderboard with one question left in the first round. Let's get right to it. Question 8. What French revolutionary whose murder by Charlotte Corday was immortalized in a famous painting by Jacques-Louis David on this day, was born on this day in 1743? French revolutionary whose murder by Charlotte Corday was immortalized in a famous painting by Jacques-Louis David, born on this day in 1743. If you know your revolutionaries and you know your murderesses and you're a big fan of Madame Tussauds wax museums, maybe you want to take a bath, maybe you don't want to take a bath. You definitely didn't want to take a bath if you, of course, were Jean-Paul Marat. Jean-Paul Marat. And the painting, David drew the details of the painting, including Marat's green rug, his papers, and his pen, from his visit to Marat's home the day before he was assassinated. And that is the end of round 1. My keyboard's broke, so I'm going to have to air trumpet it. Thank you. Air trumpet face. After 1 round, Jennifer Michael Hecht, I'm assuming that's Jennifer Michael Hecht, in first place at 378. I Am the Lorax, 347. Crossword Ease, 320. Retail Railway, 312. Sweet TC Species, 291. Your top 5. Nearsighted Narwhal, Who Dis, Benedict Cumberbatch, Callie Olif, the Garrus Vicarian, rounding out the top 10. Sherbalez, Claire Bear, Don Budenhagen, Frox, Slippery Slope, 11 through 15. Ruby, Did I Lose Yet? Game Show, Craig Schwartzby with Nicole, your 16 through 20. Mr. PB, Befferoni, Tweedle Beetle Battle, and Chinesky bringing up the back. 24 players. Lots of questions left. Round 2, all the single babies. You know, If there's a married baby, I don't want to know about it. For whatever reason, only children tend to be a bit weird, like little drunk humans. And this round will prove it because all the questions will only be about children. This is multiple choice round number 2. Here we go. What cyclist, question 1. What cyclist, this is a song about a baby? Question about a baby? Okay. Refocus. Question 1, round 2. What cyclist and winner of 0 Tour de France titles said that his testicular cancer diagnosis was hard on his mother because he was her only child? What cyclist and winner of, this is important, 0 Tour de France titles said that his testicular cancer diagnosis was hard on his mother because he was her only child? Might get some discussion about this answer based on a technicality, but strictly speaking, the way this is worded, this question is correct. The cyclist and winner of 0 Tour de France titles we are talking about, of course, is Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong. As you may remember, he won at the time and then later had his titles vacated because of doping using the substance EPO. All right, there's your leaderboard for the first question of round 2. Jennifer Michael, I am the Lorax, Retail Railwell, your top 3. Question 2. Teller of the magic duo Penn and Teller was born with what first name that he shares with the author of The Big Sleep? Yeah. Teller of the magic duo Penn and Teller, famous for not speaking on stage, was born with what first name that he shares with the author of The Big Sleep? Very interesting. Even though Teller doesn't talk, he actually does give interviews. And he's sort of a fascinating dude to read because you just wonder what his voice sounds like. John says he has a mellifluous voice. All right then. The answer we're looking for is Raymond. He's Raymond Teller. Is that true? Okay, sure. Raymond Teller it is. Leaderboard. Here's our leaderboard. Jennifer Michael holding strong. I am the Lorax. Strong in second. Sweet TC Species in third. Retail Railwell. Crossword Ease rounding out the top 5. All right, question 3. Robert De Niro was extremely shy as a child, only finding his voice in a school production of The Wizard of Oz in what role that made Bert Lahr famous? All right, so we're looking for the role in The Wizard of Oz that made Bert Lahr famous and Robert De Niro not shy. One of these. Uncle Henry. Huh. Okay. So, the role that made Bert Lahr famous in The Wizard of Oz was the write it down. Okay, was the Cowardly Lion. Cowardly Lion. All right. There's a picture of the cow. You know, sounds about the same. Also has a mellifluous voice. Go to the leaderboard. I love it. Things are great when they go well, and they're funny when they don't go well. Let's go. Jennifer Michael, first member of the 500 Club. Well done indeed. I'm the Lorax right behind. Sweet Tea Species, Retail Railwell, Crossword is your top 5. Moving on to question 4. One Child Nation, a documentary that won Sundance's 2019 grand prize, is about what country's one-child policy, which started in 1980 in a terrible attempt, and mostly failed attempt, to limit population growth. One Child Nation, a documentary that won Sundance's 2019 Grand Jury Prize, is about what country's one-child policy started in 1980 to limit population growth. I'll tell you what's going to limit population growth. Not hydrating and then going to the beach. Just saying. All right. One Child Nation is a documentary about China. It's about China. All right. Moving to the leaderboard. There is the leaderboard as such. Very good. Question 5. What two-word phrase is normally associated with the 30 radio addresses given by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, still the only president to be raised as an only child? Two-word phrase normally associated with the 30 radio addresses given by FDR, still the only president to be raised as an only child. While you're all thinking about that, my wife and I are watching the documentary on the Dust Bowl by Ken Burns. And FDR, of course, as the Great Depression leader, appears prominently in the Dust Bowl documentary, and he's standing in a lot of them. So if anyone can tell me when FDR was actually struck by polio, if it was in his younger years or his adult years, let me know, because I am curious. The two-word phrase is, of course, fireside chat. Fireside chat. Yep. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Most of the way through round 2. I am the Lorax, moves into the top spot at 571. Jennifer Michael, 556. Sweet TC Species, 519. Retail Railwell ends the 500 club. Crossword Ease, right behind, near side Narwhal, Sherblez, Don Budenhagen, Did I Lose Yet, and Garrus Vicarian round out the top 10. So let's get to question 6. Which major golf tournament has only child Tiger Woods won the most? The most. Which one of these major golf tournaments has Tiger Woods, an only child, won most in his career? Pretty good question. He's won a lot. He's won all of these multiple times. It also totally figures that he's an only child, doesn't it? Seems like it fits his thing. So we are looking for which of these major golf championships has Tiger Woods won the most over the course of his career. The background color of the screen should give it to you. It's green, and that answer, of course, is the Masters. The green jacket of the Masters won 5 4 PGAs, 3 US Opens, and 3 British Opens. Your leaders, I'm the Lorax, 618, Jennifer Michael Hecht, 604, members of the 600 Club. Sweet TC Species, Retail Railwell, and Crossword Ease, your top 5. 2 more questions around 2. Let's get after them. Question 7. During the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s, Singleton Alan Greenspan coined the term irrational exuberance as an official in what government role? I'm assuming Singleton means only child. So during the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s, Alan Greenspan coined the term irrational exuberance when he was an official in what government role? Highly influential government role, highly influential on society, affects fiscal policy, probably does not have anything to do with picking up bears in Yellowstone National Park and sticking them in your car. Don't do that, by the way. The answer we're looking for, of course, is he was the Federal Reserve Board chairman. He was part of the collective who met at the home of Ayn Rand to discuss their philosophy of individualism and free market economics. Leaderboard with one question left in round 8, so let's wound this up. Question 8. Magician David Copperfield performs regularly in his namesake theater in what giant Las Vegas hotel? This is a baby question. Sure. Magician David Copperfield, apparently a giant baby, performs regularly in his namesake theater, baby theater, in what giant Las Vegas hotel? Is it Baby Hollywood? Baby's Palace? Tropicana Baby? MGM Baby Grand? He's an only child, says John Chinesky on the chat, and he owns an island. And so when he goes there, that makes it Baby Island, population David Copperfield. The answer we're looking for is the MGM Grand. The MGM Grand, where exactly nothing is going on right now. And that is the end of round 2. Trumpet face. It's going to give me a headache. I am the Lorax, first member of the 700 Club. Well done. Jennifer Michael 642, Sweet Tea, C Species 566, Crossbreed 555, and Retail Railwell. 548, your top 5, 6 through 10, nearsighted. Did I lose yet? Gareth Vicarian, Sherbelez, and Don Budenhagen. 11 through 15, Slippery Slip, Game Show Craig, Who Dis Ruby, and Frox. 16 through 20, Claire Bear, Nicole Schwartz, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Callie Olivia. And rounding out the end is Mr. Poopy, Beffaroni, Tweedlebeetle Battle, Chinesky, and Egg Brennan. Excellent. Good stuff. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, Evil I Was. Ere I Saw Elba, a famous palindrome, of course. Did you know, despite rumors to the contrary, Napoleon Bonaparte was likely of average height for a 19th century European? Answer these 8 questions about the Little Emperor. This is the last of the multiple choice rounds. Question 1. Napoleon Bonaparte was born to an Italian family on what Mediterranean island that in the year it was ceded to France by the Republic of Genoa? So we are looking for what island was Napoleon born on? It is one of these 4. Supporting details, this island was ceded to France by the Republic of Genoa. Remember, back in the day, it was all city-states. In that neighborhood. So, Napoleon Bonaparte, born to an Italian family on what Mediterranean island? The year it was ceded to France by the Republic of Genoa. All right, that's it. Of course, we are looking for Corsica. Corsica. Napoleon, of course, not one of the Corsican brothers. Leaderboard after question 1. Yeah, lots and lots of green. Well done, everybody. All right, question 2. The French pastry, known as a Napoleon, is a variation of what delicacy made of alternating layers of puff pastry and pastry cream? The French pastry known as a Napoleon is a variation of what delicacy made of alternating layers of puff pastry and pastry cream? Interesting to note, that's actually the Parisian version of Napoleons. If you get them in eastern France, they are made with layers of puff pastry and shattered dreams. They are not. Too mean? I got a text. Too mean. All right. Whew. Yeah, it's Sunday. All right, we are looking for the answer. Mille-feuille. Mille-feuille actually means 1,000 layers. And if you are allergic to almonds, You may not have them. All right. Leaderboard. I am the Lorax, first member of the 800 Club. Jennifer Michael, Sweet Tea Species, right in there. Your 2 and 3. Retail Railwell and Nearsighted Narwhal. Hello. 616, rounding out the top 5. All right, question 3. Jared and Jerusha Hess's cult indie comedy Napoleon Dynamite follows the exploits of a socially awkward teenager living in what U.S. state? Jared and Jerusha Hess's cult indie comedy Napoleon Dynamite. Gosh! Follows the exploits of a socially awkward teenager living in what U.S. state? Of course, remembering, not apropos of anything, that ligers are his favorite animal, bred for its skills in magic. Also good with potatoes, which is a little bit of a clue. All right. The answer, of course, we're looking for is Idaho. Idaho, for several years, the city of Preston, Idaho, held a Napoleon Dynamite Festival, including a tetherball tournament. John Heater for the win. There's your leaderboard. Let's move on to question 4. Question 4. George Orwell drew on the figure of Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin to create vicious dictator Napoleon, who is what kind of farm animal in the allegory Animal Farm? All the kids who have finished their junior year of high school English already tapped their answers multiple times. Just hit it once, though, because remember, you lose points. You hit it more than one time. George Orwell drew on the figure of Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin to create the vicious dictator Napoleon, who is what kind of farm animal in the allegory Animal Farm? That's an allegory? You think that really happened? Yeah, maybe. All right. Napoleon in Animal Farm, of course, is a pig. He is a piggy. Hey, it's swirly swirl time! Ooh, press the forward button. Boink. Leaderboard! I am the Lorax 898. I think the swirlies kept you from breaking 900. I blame the swirlies. Jennifer Michael 784, Sweet Tea Species 755, Retail Railwell, Nearsighted Narwhal, rounding out the top 5. Let us move on to question 5. Question 5. Napoleon famously met his match at the 1815 Battle of Waterloo, where he was defeated by what British general who may be the namesake of a famous beef dish? Napoleon met his defeat at Waterloo, where he was defeated by what British general who may be the namesake of a famous beef dish? I was going to go with Count Juicy Lucy, but that's not one of the choices. Queen Kofta? Nope. Of course, we are talking about the Grand Old Duke of Wellington. He served as Prime Minister twice after his victory over Puff Pastry Man. All right. Lots of green on the leaderboard. Well done. Question 6. In the greatest movie of all time, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the title pair usher Napoleon by time machine to 1989 in order to help them achieve what goal? Remember, this is the greatest movie of all time, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And the title pair usher Napoleon by time machine to 1989 in order to help them achieve what goal? John confirms in the chat. Of course it is, my brother. 1988? Okay. I'll take it. Yes, despite it being the world's greatest movie, I can't actually remember an important date in the film. But it is about time travel, which, as we learned in the Avengers second movie, is all crap. We are talking about to pass history class. Not to make a righteous video, not to learn to play instruments, but to pass history class. I am the Lorax. Clearly correct about it. 993, first place. Knocking on the door of 1,000. Jennifer Michael, Sweet Tea Species, Retail Railwell, Nearsighted Narwhal, your top 5. On to question 7. What absolutely enormous novel about the Napoleonic Wars famously includes a section from the French Emperor's point of view? This big guy clocks in at 1,225 pages. Enormous novel about the Napoleonic Wars famously includes a section from the French Emperor's POV. Camera 1, camera 2. What does the French Emperor's point of view have to say? It says, hydrate. Good stuff. All right. Of course, we are talking about Leo Tolstoy's epic, War and Peace. War and Peace. All right. Leaderboard after 7 questions. I'm Lorax, first member of the 1,000 Point Club, Jennifer Michael. In second place, Sweet TC Species, knocking on 900. Also well done. That's your top 3. Retail Railwell in 4th place, Nearsighted Narwhal in 5th. So let's move to question 8. Question 8. Robert Vaughn's Napoleon Solo was the main character of what classic espionage TV show? A role reprised by Henry Cavill in the 2015 film. So, Robert Vaughn and Henry Cavill both played Napoleon Solo in what classic espionage TV show? So, Robert Vaughn in the TV show, Henry Cavill in the movie. Henry Cavill, of course, also a portrayer of Superman. Classic espionage TV shows. I'm pretty sure a lot of these shows appearing on TV Land are getting lots of love now that there's a lot more time to be at home and watch TV. We are looking for, of course, the man from UNCLE. UNCLE stands for United Network Command for Law and Enforcement. And that is the end of round 3. I'm good. I am the Lorax in first place. 1084, well done. Sweet TC Species, 935. Jennifer Michael, 938. Members of 900 Plus Club. Garrus Vicarian, Retail Railwell, your top 5. 6 through 10, Nearsighted. Crossword, Don Budenhagen. Sherbelez, Slippery Slope. 11 through 15, Who Dis? Did I Lose Yet? Claire Bear Ruby and Gamesher Craig. 16 through 20, Benedict Cumberbatch, Frox, Nicole Schwartz, and Callie Olivia. And rounding out the 20s, Mr. PB, Befferoni, Tweedlebeetle Battle, Chinesky, and Ang Brennan. Let's move on to round 4, the pick 3 round. It's a little bit different. Actually, it's completely different. Here's how this works. Instead of asking questions, I'll give you a category. And you need to see which of the 5 answers that are listed, 3 of them will be in the category that I give you. If you pick 3, you'll get full credit. If you get 2, you'll get partial credit. And if you get 1, because with 3 choices out of 5, you're going to get 1 completely by accident, you will receive not any points. So, question 1. What three things belong in this set of Batman's gadgets? Batman's gadgets. Three of these things are gadgets that Batman has. Batman, that noted gadget fiend. He has subscription to PC Mag, Wired, Computer Shopper. What else? Probably Make. Yeah. And People, for some reason. That dude has issues. Anyway, three of these gadgets are actually Batman gadgets, and the other two are on his Christmas list for Alfred to get him. So we are looking for the ones that are actually in the Batcave. What could they be? I'll tell you what one thing isn't on it. The Bat Rifle is not on it. That's right, we're talking about the Batmobile, the Batcycle, and the Bat Phone, because when he asked for a Bat Rifle, Alfred told him, "Kid, you'll shoot your eye out." All right, there's the leaderboard. Let's go on to question 2. Speaking of Batman, we are looking for characters in films by Christopher Nolan. Characters in Christopher Nolan films. Oh, let's check in on the chat. No guns. That's right. No guns. That kite just caused a major fight between the kids. Yeah, Batman, no guns. I'm pretty sure I'm right about the Alfred said, "You'll shoot your eye out" thing. All right. Characters in Christopher Nolan films. We're looking for 3 out of 5. And if you've played trivia with me before, you can automatically knock 1 or 2 of these right off, which would leave you 3 more. Which, telling you, the more you play trivia with me, the better you get at it. We are looking for Cobb, Leonard, and Harvey Dent. Stanley Ipkiss, of course, is the Mask, and Lester Burnham is that creep from American Beauty. Leaderboard! Oh, yep. So if you look on the left side of your name, if you got partial credit, you got a yellow mark, and if you didn't get it right, sorry, you got a red stripe. On to question 3. Regnal names of English monarchs. Regnal names of English monarchs, which of course means we're looking for rulers, and they have to be English. So 3 of these are names of English monarchs. The persons, not the butterflies. Now would be a good time for me to mention that typically I collect, in lieu of tips for the host, I collect for charities, Charity of the Day, and I was too overwhelmed to think of one today. So if there's a charity that's near and dear to you, consider giving them something in lieu of a tip to someone that you would normally give reading trivia to you in a bar. The answer to this question is Henry, Edward, and Alfred. Henry, Edward, and Alfred. All right, let's take a quick peek at the leaderboard. There we go. Lion the Lorax, 1164 in first. Sweet Tea, 1015, new member of the 1,000 Point Club. Jennifer Michael right behind. Retail Railwell and Garrus, your top 5. All right, be quick on this next one. We are looking for 3 of 5 songs by Led Zeppelin. 3 of these 5 are songs by the loudest band in rock and roll. Wait, was that them or was that the Who? I don't know. Anyway, 3 out of the 5 of these songs are songs by Led Zepp, and the other 2 are not. John Chinesky reminding me that Led Zeppelin was, of course, the leadest band. One of the things I like the most about Led Zeppelin bands is the number and variation of tribute bands. Of course, there's Led Zeppelin, an all-girl Led Zeppelin cover band, tribute band. There's, who was the reggae band? I can't believe I don't remember this. With Tortellas. Someone put it in the chat. Okay, of course, the answer to these is Misty Mountain Hop, Thank You, and the Immigrant Song. Gimme Shelter is, of course, The Stones. Bob O'Reilly is The Who. All right. Yeah, lots of green. Excellent. Well done. I'm the Lorax, broke 1200. Well done. Sweet Tea Species in second. Jennifer Michael. Third place, Retail Railwell. Crosswordies, your top 5. Question 5. Also time for fast fingers. Dred Zeppelin. Thank you, John. Dred Zeppelin. More about Dred Zeppelin later. Because you need to find 3 of the 5 in this category that are soups. Soups. Oh, yeah. Getting back to Dred Zeppelin, yes, they were a reggae Led Zeppelin cover band fronted by an Elvis impersonator, Tortelvis. They were awesome. Great. You should look up that album just for the cover artwork. That, of course, is after you eat a hearty bowl of soup. Come to think of it, any of the things on this list would be hearty. Only 3 of them are soup. So let's see what you got. Led Zeppelin. I'll have to check that out. I bet that's exactly as nutty as it sounds. Time is up. We are looking for minestrone, gazpacho, and pozole. Tabbouleh, of course, parsley and bulgur, and calabacitas is a squash salad. Leaderboard. Gourmets all. I love it. Question 6. 3 of the 5 moons of the planet Jupiter. 3 of 5 moons of Jupiter. Cheers. Moons of Jupiter. Three of 5 moons of Jupiter. We are not talking about calabacitas or tabbouleh or pozole. We're talking about moons of Jupiter. Okay, that's it. We are looking for Europa, Ganymede, and Io. Phobos, of course, is a moon of Mars, and Titan is the home of the Thanos, the Mad Titan, and also a moon of Saturn. All right. There is your leaderboard. A lot of good scores. Let's move on to question 7. Streaming has brought out lots. Sorry. The stay-at-home order has brought out lots of streaming watching. So we want you to identify 3 of 5 of these that are originals on Disney Plus. Originals on Disney Plus. 3 of these 5. One of these got all kinds of buzz. One of them is a great big hit among the tweeners. Actually, that could be 2 of them. Okay, anyway, we're looking for which of these 3 of the 5 of these that are streaming originals on the Disney Plus subscription service. All right. We, of course, are talking about The Mandalorian, High School Musical, the musical, the series, and Diary of a Future President. And because the mouse owns everything, you know, Disney Plus can be purchased in a bundle that includes ESPN Plus and Hulu, which I am hearing from the family is something that we need to do. Here is the leaderboard. I am the Lorax, Sweet Tea Species, Jennifer Michael, your top 3, Retail Railwell, and Garrus rounding out the top 5. All right, Last question of round 4. 3 of 5 fictional young detectives. Fictional young detectives. They are fictional, they are young, and they are very specifically detectives. Detectives. Young and fictional. I'm really more of a George Smiley kind of guy because I think fiction is wasted on the young. That's just my thing, though. Your mileage may vary. Fictional young detectives include Encyclopedia Brown, Nancy Drew, and Veronica Mars. All right, that is the end of round 4. I am the Lorax in first place, 1307, first member of the 1300 Club. Sweet TC Species, 1176. Jennifer Michael, 1136. Retail Railwell. Gareth Vicarian, rounding out the 1100 Plus Club. Well done. Also your top 5. Number 6, Nearsighted. Number 7, Crossword Ease. Number 8, Sherbelez. Number 9, Did I Lose Yet? Number 10, Slippery Slope. Going down 11 through 20, Butenhagen, Claire Bear, Hoodis, Frox, Ruby Game Show, Craig, Benedict Cumberbatch, Nicole, Callie Olivia, and Schwartz in 20th. Seemingly dropped off the table, Mr. PB, Beffaroni, Tweedlebeetle, Chinesky, and the Huntsman. All right. We are at the last question of the evening, the answer fast question, which is technically round 5. And here's how this is going to work. It consists of 5 clues that get progressively easier. I'm going to tell you, though, this one's hard. They're all hard. I'll read fast. If you're on the chat, John is putting up helpful clues on how to answer the question in an answer that will score you points. So, the faster you answer, the more points you get, but you have to guess carefully because once you've typed in and submitted your answer, you're locked in to whatever points are left on the timer. You cannot change your answer, so if you get it right, you'll get points, but if you don't get it right, you'll get 0. And we have a tight game, so points are going to count. Let's see. Spelling counts. It is not case sensitive. All 5 of these hints are going to point to the same answer. Don't put a space before or after your answer. You will get marked incorrect. All right. If we are ready, I am going to start reading because I've also noticed that, see this answer fast screen? Once I forward past it, the timer starts running. So I'm going to start reading, then I'm going to bring the question up. That way you won't lose points. So, answer fast, clue number 1. No matter how many clues I give you, it probably won't help. I was a professional golfer who won 20 events on the PGA Tour, but am probably best known for one of the biggest chokes in golfing history because I missed a short putt at the 1970 British Open at St. Andrews and then lost Jack Nicklaus the next day in a playoff. Who am I? I'm going to let this run for another 5 seconds. So, won 20 events on the PGA Tour, but best known for one of the biggest chokes in golfing history, having missed a short putt in the 1970 British Open at St. Andrews, then lost to Jack Nicklaus the next day in a playoff. Who am I? I'm going to read the next one. During my golfing career, never mind. Let's try this. I share the same name as the actor that played Jack Favel in Hitchcock's Rebecca, and a guy who sold chicken. I share a last name with the actor who played Jack Favel in Hitchcock's Rebecca. And I also share a last name with the dude who sold chicken. 3, 2, 1. All right, clue number 3. My first name is shared by the guy who headed up the Get Fresh crew in the early 80s. Oh, come on. Get Fresh crew. And a Canadian magician, famous Canadian magician from the same era, who starred in World of Magic specials. All right, That should help. My first name is shared by the guy who headed up the Get Fresh crew in the early 80s. He had a 3-syllable moniker and a famous Canadian magician who was big on illusion from the same era who starred in the World of Magic specials. Illusion. All right, I think that's helpful. The first question, not at all. The second one, All right, moving on to clue number 4. If you are still confused, my first name is the same as General MacArthur from World War II. And my last name is the same as the man who just finished second to Joe Biden for the Democratic presidential nomination. There it is. If you are still confused after all of that, my first name is the same as General MacArthur from World War II. And my last name is the same as the man who finished second to Joe Biden for the Democratic presidential nomination. No, it's not Larry David. All right. Last one. We're out of clues now, so I rhyme with Thuglanders or Pug-ganders. Who am I? All right, a quick recap of the more helpful of the clues. Share a last name with the actor who played Jack Favell in Hitchcock's Rebecca, and also a dude who sold chicken. And also the guy that finished second to Joe Biden. And my first name is the same as the guy that headed up the Get Fresh crew, and a Canadian magician, a master of illusion, who starred in the World of Magic specials. And the same as General I Shall Return MacArthur. All right, are we good? I think we're probably good. All right. Put your answers in. We're good? Okay. We might actually end before 9 o'clock tonight, which would be a new land speed record for Richard hosted trivia. All right, we're moving on. Doug Sanders. Doug Sanders was known as the Peacock of the Fairways for his colorful wardrobe. That's him on the left. Really? Okay. You know, it's very odd to call someone the Peacock of the Fairways for his colorful wardrobe, then put a black and white photo of him. But anyway, that is the end of the game. End of the game. I am Lorax, 1457, first place. Congratulations. Jennifer Michael, 1366. Sweet TC Species, 1338. Nearsighted Narwhal, 1307. Garris Vicarian, 1291, your top 5. 6 through 10, Crosswordies, Retail Railwell. Did I lose yet? You did not. Don Budenhagen and Slippery Slope, 10 through 15. Frox, Sherbalez, Ruby, Benedict Cumberbatch, Game Show, Craig, 16 through 20. Schwartz be with you. Claire Bear, Hootis, Nicole, Callie, Olivia, 21 through 25. Chinesky, and 4 people that did not answer. That is the end of the game. Congratulations to I Am the Lorax. You are tonight's winner. Jennifer in second, Sweet TC Species in third. And that is the end of Triviamatic Happy Hour. I am your host, Richard Sue. See? And it's been my pleasure to be your host. Remember, you can play trivia with us any night of the week at 8 p.m. Eastern here at the Triviamatic YouTube channel, and play along on the Triviamatic app. If you're not me, you will see one of the other excellent hosts, including Craig Reed, Ethan T. Berlin, Kim Roth, Tommy Dickey, and join us tomorrow for 33 new questions. So, thanks to the team at Digital Pomegranate, thanks to everyone at Triviamatic, thanks to John Chinesky, knower of all things and keeper of the chat, and I'm Richard, your host, just reminding you to be safe, be careful, be kind, be patient, and in the words of that noted philosopher Bill S. Preston, be most excellent to each other. Good night. This time for sure. Good night.